It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for John Cena turned heel before the Cowboys made the NFC Championship.
That's fucking wild.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was gonna say he
haven't
turned
heard
heel
that meme all week. Yeah, thanks.
He turned heel on your birthday, dude.
Yeah, he did. You know what?
That's
and I'm
wild,
glad he
too.
did it. And like I told you, everything is how far away? Everything's fuck it now, right? He followed me on Twitter after knowing him for God. I don't know if I'm friends with John. Jesus, over 15 years. My math's no good. Greg, Jeff can't count. Greg proved that with a T-shirt. But I'm so fucking thrilled for him. Like, for real. I am so happy that we finally get to see exactly what we've been waiting to see. And for everybody that's going to ask in the room, I'm sure the reason I have Percy sitting here and Aaron sitting here, today is actually the anniversary of Percy's passing. So I want to make sure I got that out there and share a little love for the Pringle dynasty, the Moody family, and all things Paul Bearer. So anyway, that's why they're sitting here with me. Yeah, man, it was a wild birthday. I started at midnight on the rear of the Disneyland Mickey and Friends Pixar Palace tram doing the spiel for the last 2 hours of the operation day. And I ended the night on the shenanigans celebrating what should have happened a long time ago. So it was the wildest 24 hours of my birthday I think I've ever had. And I'm here for it. Every bit of it. It was so good. It was so good.
I'll tell you what, like, credit to like Triple H and WWE for not providing an obvious road to WrestleMania.
Yes.
Because we saw that Monday night because Io Sky is the new WWE Women's World Champion after defeating Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Which, good for Io, because a lot of people were concerned that she wasn't going to be in like a big Mania match or maybe at Mania at all after having been the champion last year. And now she's going to be, at least as of this moment, the champion going into WrestleMania again.
She is the women's main event for all intents and purposes. She's facing the Royal Rumble winner.
Mm.
She is the women's main event.
The Elimination Chamber.
Chamber winner.
Sorry, Chamber.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's right. Okay,
Right.
well then, even still, we've got two relatively young champions in Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton defending against two who have been juggernauts in Bianca Belair and, of course, Charlotte Flair. So the women's championship matches, it's definitely an unfortunate thing for Gunther and Jey Uso. Of the four champion versus big match winner main events, that's the weakest. And I feel bad for Gunther and Jey, but you're not going to counteract the venom with Cody and John now. That's just not going to happen.
No, I'm pretty sure Cody and John Cena have solidified themselves as a night 2 main event.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There has to be a monumental for that to be different. And you know what? Roman versus Rock, Roman versus Rollins is, Punk versus anybody, at this point, because he's just fit to be tied, deservedly so, after what happened in the Chamber. Like you said, Greg, there are multiple paths leading into Las Vegas. It's not just that one straight ugly dirt path up the 15 now. We got possibilities, and I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. I love the fact that it's not obvious. Like we hear reports all the time. It's like, oh, this is gonna happen at Mania, this is gonna happen at Mania, blah blah blah. And like sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. That's fine. I'm glad that we're able to enjoy the show as it goes along. Yep. I don't want to take credit by any means because I never put it out there. I had a feeling Cena was going to turn heel.
Oh yeah,
before the Chamber.
Yeah,
because I was like, Punk doesn't seem like it would make sense. And thinking back on John Cena's post-Royal Rumble press conference, I was like, that's not something hustle, loyalty, and respect John Cena would say.
No, not at all.
Straight up not. Because he was like, I am using my power or like my status to enter the Elimination Chamber without having to try. It's like, Granted, Cena's gotten title shots by just being John Cena before, but it was never like his intention. You know what I mean?
Lest we forget Rey Mysterio on Raw.
Poor Ray Ray.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Oh my goodness, it was so bad. Jeff, you're muted, by the way.
Just realized that. That was WWE not trying to tell us out loud that Punk was already re-signed and back in the can and giving everybody a, oh crap, it's John Cena again. Oh, wait, it's him and Punk. Okay, we can this. But yeah, Mysterio got what, but you know what? He held both world championships. He was eligible for them. The time he was eligible for them. So props to Ray Ray.
Also valid.
Ray's a Grand Slam champion. That begs the question. There's probably going to be new criteria for the women's Grand Slam championship.
Yeah,
because technically speaking, for the old guard, Io Sky is now a Grand Slam champion, having won the women's tag team titles, the NXT women's title, the women's world title, and the WWE women's championship. She's now won all four of those, so that is a factor in the Grand Slam. But now you have the women's Intercontinental and women's United States championship, so we wonder if it's got to fall under the same criteria as the men do with both mid-card championships, the tag championship, and one of the world titles.
Yeah, for as much as people complain about there's too many belts, for us belt geeks, it's a nightmare trying to quantify and classify anything now. It's like, what do we do?
Hey, at least a lot of them recently, specifically from WWE, if you have one from like 10 years ago, you got the one that they've got now.
Yeah. The other thing with the classification is it's like, okay, so is the NXT women's and NXT championships world championships? If you go off the old guard, if you will, based on what Pro Wrestling Illustrated used to say, had to have significant televised or media coverage. NXT qualifies for that for sure. Defending the championships in more than just the United States, that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a significant quality list of contenders and champions. NXT qualifies there. I have considered NXT to be world championships from the minute they moved to broadcast television, because that was what got ECW over the hump in 1999, personally, for the official or whatever, however you want to quantify official. So, and they even mentioned it in press when Drew McIntyre was, I think, challenging Adam Cole, if I remember right. So, no, they mentioned it when he won the Royal Rumble that he was already a multi-time world champion, including the NXT championship. So, for me, it's I feel that this whole, Charlotte Flair is a 16-time world champion already. She's already, and of course the joke's going around once she and Andrade split, which was ridiculous. But who's chasing what goal now? But John chasing a 17th WWE recognized world championship is still something we can grab onto as fans.
Yeah.
A number that's not been inflated too.
No, that's not been inflated. And honestly, as much as Flair's has been overinflated or underinflated, much like a Tom Brady football, Flair's number has been greatly reduced. He's 22. They can kiss my ass with that 16 bullshit, as far as I'm concerned. But if that's the number they're going with, great. John's about to become the guy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in Arkansas with my my wrestling historian friend. And I'll ask Cap exactly how many titles Flair won again.
Well, there's a video. I don't know if it's on the Facebook page I still have active. I think it is. But I counted and I included the ones where he became, like when he beat Sting in 91, he became the NWA champion again, but he was also recognized as the first WCW champion. Well, it's the same belt. Okay, then how come Fujinami was the NWA champion, the WCW champion when he beat Flair? Because of different rules. It's murky. It's murkier than shit. But technically, I gotta check again. But it's either 21 or 22 for Rick.
So here's my question, because this has been brought up by a man who I'm going to say his name, but I don't think he's going to appear tonight, Joe Hendry.
Making sure.
I don't know. Nobody sees my tweets, so I have no idea.
Hey, I retweeted and put it out there, so you know.
But that being said,
holding this thing.
Hendry's talked about facing John Cena in a match at some point. Could John Cena's 17th championship be the TNA World Championship?
Well, you talked about that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. I really don't.
Hold on. Do you have any idea how wild, like just the image of John Cena on TNA TV would be?
Yeah. John Cena on TNA TV challenging for their world title as a heel.
Yeah.
What the? Jesus Christ. All right, Perks, I get it. It's funny now. Okay. Anyway, sorry. This whole thing has been made even wilder by last Saturday. Like I'm here for everything that was in the scope of possibility, but after Saturday, man, this shit's wide open. It really is. I'm so torn because I love Cody so much, but you know, John's my guy. I want John to win just to have this be properly, you know, verified is not the word I'm looking for. Justified is not even the word I'm looking for. But I want this heel turn to actually mean something. If he goes to Vegas and then loses, like, what are we doing?
You want it to be vindicated.
There we go. Yeah. I want this vindication of he should have done this during Rock Cena 1, and now we know why.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want that for him, not so much for the fans or for WWE creative. I want that for John, the human being, to go, you know what? Damn it. I was a baby face before my turn longer than Hogan. Think about that in your head for a minute, kids. Hogan was a baby face for 15 years.
I said this on a show earlier today. John Cena's babyface run lasted 21 years, 3 months, and 23 days. My brother was born November of 2003. John Cena was a babyface for longer than my brother has been alive.
That's wild. That
for at least a few days.
For at least a few days. Yeah. You think about all that has gone down in the time that John Cena solidified his stance with Kurt Angle on his team against Brock Lesnar's team. All the stuff that happened in all three of our lives alone, in the wrestling world, in the world beyond wrestling. John Cena being that standard, that constant has been a thing. And he's not been in WWE full time for many years, let's be honest. But always being able to count on the fact that you would hear that music, he would walk out, he would do the salute, he would give Stu his flowers and run to that ring as our hero. That is no longer the case, folks. It's crazy to me. Like there's so much that has changed in those 22 years except him.
Let me put this in perspective. Since John Cena's babyface run has encapsulated the following. Stone Cold Steve Austin was still on weekly television.
Yep.
TNA did not have a weekly TV deal.
No.
Let's see. The Rock had not come back as a babyface. Well, I guess he did in June, technically.
Ish. Yeah. Very ish.
Mick Foley had not come back to TV. Like, Evolution was still
in its baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evolution was still very much a 4-man unit.
Yes.
And not yet all of them being the champion. They weren't the horsemen holding the gold yet.
No,
that was the following month. Yeah.
This was in the middle of the Triple H reign of terror.
Yeah.
Like early on.
I had just finished my first year working with NoDQ.com when that Survivor Series happened.
Yeah.
That happened right now in my head. Holy fuck, that's crazy. Jesus.
Time is a construct.
John Cena's baby facedom was a year shorter now, will be for sure, than my quote unquote career in podcasting and live streaming. I need to read that to Aaron and watch us both just age exponentially with that statement.
That
I don't think had XMV started, because I knew you guys did the audio show, but I don't know.
No, we didn't start doing the video until just around October of 2004. So we were still in audio only.
You were still what was the original podcast?
The original podcast for wrestling, Extreme Mayhem. And I know there was a couple before that, but yeah, Extreme Mayhem was still the thing. We had just passed our year anniversary. Like, I don't know what episode of SmackDown John made that. Like, nope, I'm with Angle. If somebody can do the Googling on that, that'd be neato. Because I can tell you for sure where the time difference is. But we were either just shy or just after our first year on the air.
That's insane. I was still in high school, like in 2003.
That's crazy.
Shut up, Maddie. But
we're both like ready for it.
Yeah, I was waiting for I wasn't even in kindergarten yet in 2003.
2003?
Yeah.
I would be 5. So yeah, I was in kindergarten.
Okay.
I think I was past.
Shut up, Maddie. I'm waiting for Josh to pop in and talk about his fetus status. Anyway, go ahead.
But
yeah,
Devin
was just born in 2003.
Right.
It's wild to me to think that it's been that long since John Cena's been a heel. Like, we have been calling for it. There were people who booed him out of the buildings with at SummerSlam 05, at WrestleMania that year, obviously with one night stand against Van Dam.
Oh yeah, he had no prayer there.
and obviously with Punk at Money in the Bank. But this is the first time he's fully, quote unquote, embrace the hate.
Yeah. And hey, kudos to John and Punk, man. That was 2011 all over again, the final part of that chamber, man. Neither one of them had lost a goddamn thing.
No.
Man, they look great.
If you want to talk about wrestling soulmates, John Cena and CM Punk.
Absolutely. I will say that neither one of them is each other's greatest WWE feud by any means, but much like Adam Copeland and John went on to call each other old shoe because it was just putting on an old pair of shoes and just doing their thing. I think Punk and John have got there now.
Yeah.
I really do. Those guys stepped in like nothing had changed.
Because that was
2011
years since their last time in the ring together?
Just under. So they had a match. Yeah, they had a match just prior to WrestleMania 2013 to determine.
Okay, that would be 12 years.
Almost 12 years.
That they scrapped in the ring together.
The infamous pile driver match with.
Oh God, yes.
Was that their last time wrestling each other?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you figure Punk left after the Rumble in 2014, didn't come back.
But years ago. Wow.
Because figure it this way, because going into that WrestleMania, Punk was the definitive heel. He had just lost the title to The Rock. He was, involving this in the story with The Undertaker, and then he took time off and he came back in the summer, and he was riding the fence. But then Paul turned on. I mean, he was a babyface the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And John was still very much still active, but even he didn't go to mostly part-time until after Punk had already left. Because SummerSlam 2014, lest I bring that up for any goddamn good reason. Oh, God. That was John's last full-time run as a WWE champion. Yes, he's come back and done it since, but he wasn't full-time when he beat AJ for number 16.
No. So, he was only champion for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy to me.
Was,
2017 was
wild to me.
No,
2017 was bookmarked with AJ Styles as champion from at the beginning and the end, but there was a whole lot of bullshit in the middle.
Yeah, there was a lot of bullshit in between. My God. Yeah, I was, and again, we all talked about it in our own way leading up to Saturday. The road to WrestleMania has definitely not been necessarily bumpy. It's been almost too quiet, like this is way too smooth to drive. Like we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not worried about it. Like it's just nah. Now I'm like, give me the potholes.
How long does a busted eardrum take to heal?
Oh, right.
Just wondering for Cody.
Man.
Here's the thing, and I feel like we've been over this at some point. If somebody is not trained, they should not be throwing strikes in the ring.
Absolutely not.
Especially
Because,
against the
like,
head of the champion. Like, what are we doing, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like that. I feel like that's almost going into business for yourself. Listen, I understand Travis Scott might have
I feel like Dwayne told him to do something, but he definitely took it and ran.
But you feel like you would want to coordinate that spot to prevent injury. Like wrestlers are supposed to protect each other. Travis Scott is not a wrestler, and like putting him in that position, he hit him once and caused an issue. That's a problem for me.
I try very hard to see it. Yeah. I look at it as I'm chalking it up to the adrenaline was flowing, man. It was a major moment. He's a live performer. He's out there on the regular in front of people. I'm sure he felt the entire, and remember, this is a Sky Dome, almost 40,000 people in that place. I'm sure he felt the, oh my God, what is happening? Reverberating through everybody and just got lost in the moment. I give benefit of doubt, and I'm sure that Dwayne pulled him aside and went, you fucked up a little bit here, brother. Now, had that happened under the old man's watch, we would have heard about it. We would have heard all about the bullshit and the scolding afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Someone would have met him backstage and would have just scolded him. Travis Scott would have never seen WWE TV again.
No. But and to the hardcore, the purists, maybe that's justified. But like I said, I chalk it up to this is a moment. This is our buddy Max, who I've so not watched AEW, and I feel bad, but I'm going to be at the pay-per-view Sunday, so I probably should catch up on shit.
Oh, you're going to be there?
I am going to be there. I got
look for Suge.
Disney somehow gave me.
He's going to be there too.
Disney somehow gave me my birthday off and the 9th off, and you said what? Who's going to be there?
Oh yeah, look for Suge.
Okay,
my co-host Suge. He'll be there as well.
I'll be looking for Suge. I'll be looking for Denise. Like I'm gonna be making the rounds because I'm gonna be at their ass early Saturday. I'm coming straight from Disney. I'm off the clock at 3:30 Sunday morning because I got a late shift. So I'm just gonna catch a nap at the hotel and then hop on the bus and go. It's 2 hours to CDC Arena on the bus. So once I get my shit together, I'm just gonna go. I'll be there early. But yeah, it's Max talks about generational talent. What happened Saturday was a generational moment. It's people are trying to compare it to Hogan's. I don't think it is personally, and that's not me being a Hulkamaniac or being John's friend. And that's just me realizing we live in a different time. It is major. It is fucking major that John has finally turned heel.
Yeah,
but even the most jaded of fans almost expected it. Hogan's was completely out of nowhere.
But I feel like since John has been a babyface for over 2 decades, we didn't know until we saw that change in his facial reaction.
Yes. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But
I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, I think a lot of us that have been watching for a long time definitely expected it, but it was still presented so well. It just came off perfectly. If you watch back the commentary, because the guys had me on the commentary for it, you could definitely see my realization. The minute Cody told Rock to go fuck himself, and John was almost reacting too much, and I'm like, that's not good. And they would like the minute he reached out for the pull and the bro hug, I'm like, you can see it in my face, like, oh God, here it comes. And they showed the camera shot was so perfectly done. I gave major props. I don't know who's running TV now. I think it's Lee Fitting. I think is his name.
Yeah.
That was framed so beautifully.
Mhm.
Because you got rocks.
I'm afraid how Kevin Dunn would have cut that.
Yeah, I try real hard not think about the cuts because it probably would have gave me
Go to the Rock. Go to Cena. Go to the Rock. To Cena.
Go to Cena.
Out of the Rock.
Cena. Rock.
Go to Cody.
Yeah. And I've gone cross-eyed. But yeah, that was just framed so beautifully. And I think we at home saw it better than the crowd did. Right? Because when John's face turned, they hadn't really reacted. It was only until Dwayne did the cut sign that the crowd went, oh no. You could hear the crowd rising. And then when John stepped back and kicked Cody, it was a collective realization. Like the whole world knew right then and they're like, oh God. But the home audience got that first shot of John's face cutting to the Rock's giving the sign. So we at home got about a second, maybe a second and a half of lead time. And it was not, it was very nice of Lee fitting that. So thank you, Lee. Again, just it was a good show. It was a good pace show, and it was ended just about as perfectly as you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of the Elimination Chamber, we have not yet talked about Jade Cargill coming in and fucking Naomi up.
Yeah, absolutely beating the brakes off of Naomi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that potential feud. Bianca Belair's reactions, which they showed on social media after the fact.
Yeah.
I feel like added to that moment.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Bianca Belair has become the just all-around performer when you call her to do something and she is going to be the best at it.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as they want to say that like Charlotte or Becky or whoever is like the premier star of the women's division, I feel like Bianca is the best in WWE right now. Honestly.
I'm gonna give some unexpected flowers, at least for this room. I think Bianca has become what they wanted Mercedes to be, what they wanted Sasha Banks to be. That all around, put her with anybody, do anything with anybody. And the situation that happened with her and Trin that they left, I think that had that situation not happened, and again, there's fault with both sides. But I think if Sasha was still with the company and that shit hadn't gone down, I think that Sasha Banks would still be that person. I really think that they really wanted to get behind her. Her and Bianca had an unbelievably goddamn good match at WrestleMania. It main evented a WrestleMania night.
It's good.
And I think that feud would have been one of those Joker versus Batman. They could have fought for eternity and none of us would have got tired of it. Which is why I think Bianca has been so heavily praised now, because they saw that in both of them and Bianca stayed.
Yeah.
Just an observation. I think that Mercedes is happy with the decision she made. I think she believes she did the right thing by leaving, and I don't begrudge her that, because she got more championships than I got t-shirts at this point. So good on her for it. And she's making a killer fucking amount of money. So good on her for it. I mean, she's making Monet. She's living the gimmick, kids. Mm-hmm. I just think that Bianca took what she already had and what they could have had with Sasha, and they went, okay, well, she's still here and she's ridiculously talented too. Let's see what happens.
I really think that the WrestleMania 37 match with Sasha and Bianca was the moment to catapult Bianca Belair into this is who we want to build this division around, which I think was the right move. Listen, I love Mercedes. That's no secret to anybody who's watched this channel since its inception.
Yes.
But as far as WWE right now is concerned, there is no better women's talent, period, in ring, on the microphone, facial expressions, and understanding how this business works. There is nobody in WWE better than Bianca Belair.
I agree with that. And
Agreed.
she definitely should be one of the main event challengers, and she is.
Yeah. Like, if that turns into a triple threat, which would be perfectly fine if it did, or a fatal four-way if Liv somehow got into the mix, that is a solid match.
See, I
For
can
a
see
main
it being
event.
a triple threat. I can definitely see it being a triple threat.
What if they pulled a WrestleMania 16 and made it a fatal four-way elimination?
So I only disagree with that because, and I don't know if we talked about this on Shenanigans or a different show I was on. I definitely talked about it with somebody. As cool as it was to have Liv and Rhea be one of the marquee matches for the Netflix premiere, those two need a WrestleMania. That story was so strong. I feel like having it peter out at the Raw premiere doesn't do either one of them justice. I think it needs a WrestleMania blow off. I really do. So if it's one-on-one there and the three involved, Naomi, Jade, and Bianca have I forgot Io. Sorry.
Okay, so if
Retract what I just said. Go ahead.
If Rhea and Liv have a WrestleMania match, I feel personally it needs a stipulation.
No, I agree with that.
Like, I feel like that needs to be like an all-out brawl, whether it's a no-hold-barred match, whether it's like last woman standing or something. And here's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan of last person standing matches, especially in the pandemic, because pandemic, those are matches that need a crowd.
No, I agree.
Like, I complained about it back then for both the Edge and Orton one and for the Reigns and Owens one.
Yes.
Last man standing matches need an audience, because without it, you can't feel that energy.
Right.
And it's just like, wow, you guys are knocked down and just wasting time getting up. Like that's last man standing matches need a crowd. Okay, rant over. I don't know if Rhea and Liv, which granted, I got to see Rhea and Liv live in Cleveland for SummerSlam. I thought they put on a fantastic match.
Yes.
I don't know unless there is some like brutal, we're going to beat the shit out of each other stipulation that I need to see it at WrestleMania. If it's a standard one-on-one match, pass. I don't need to see it. If they're going to beat the ever living dog shit out of each other, sign me up. There's a difference.
Well, as Liv showed how much her body was affected by the chamber.
Yeah.
She's proven she can get it. Turn them loose. Put them in the last woman standing. Have it be the definitive end of this. Because it really feels like to me the Judgment Day is starting to go their separate ways anyway.
Which I feel like is overdue.
No, agreed. I agree. So let it be the blow off. Liv and Rhea get their blow off. Finn and Dom. Finn and Dom can carry a one-on-one besides with his father now. He's proven that to me at least.
Yeah.
And Finn needs a one-on-one match at WrestleMania that's not going to be overshadowed by the entrance. So I want that for him. McDonough's still on the shelf. I like Carly. I could give a fuck if Carly goes at WrestleMania. I really could. Like, I don't care. Is what it is for me. But those four people, I think, should be involved. Now, if Liv and Raquel are still tag team champions, then you got to factor in the tag titles having some sort of something at WrestleMania, I feel, for me. Maybe Rhea gets a partner and they have a night one thing and then the one-on-one's night two. Something. I don't know. Again, there's so many different roads we can take as we hit, we're still over 40 days before we get to Las Vegas. And I
think it's 40 days for night two, because WrestleMania Sunday falls on Easter Sunday and today is Ash Wednesday. So it's 40 days.
Figure Chamber was 49. So this Saturday will be 42 days away from night one. The Chamber, they were saying it was 49 days.
It's April
19th and 20th.
Somebody fucked up in the math department then, because I don't think that's right.
That would be 7 weeks. Figure the rest of March and half of April.
So you said 42.
It'll be 42 this Saturday.
Yeah, I guess so. Why are we doing Ash Wednesday today?
I don't know.
I'm not Catholic. I'm just complaining.
I don't run the church. I don't know.
Well,
And the guy running the
wait.
church is going through it right now. I'm kind of good. I don't know. Poor guy.
21, 28, 35. Yeah, what the fuck are they doing?
Is Ash Wednesday supposed to be a certain days before Easter?
I thought that Ash Wednesday was 40 days before Easter. But again, I'm not Catholic.
Well, but Easter Sunday is April 20th.
That's what I'm saying. That's why. That's why when I thought today's Ash Wednesday, that 40 days from now would be, but that's not the case.
Yes, Maddie, you heard me right. Easter Sunday will also be the day that the WWE Universe is in Las Vegas, and it's also 420. So let's just call the apocalypse now and be done with it.
I was about to be talking about that latter part. So you're telling me I can totally dress up as a bunny and be stoned under it, and it's totally okay?
Yes,
Snoop Bunny. All right, so we talked about wrestling quite a bit. There was a lot happening in the football world, and before we get into
just a little bit,
I told Maddie before the show to write a list of all the happenings. We're going to get into that in a second, but I do want to bring up something because I am hoping to be at Pat McAfee's special in Pittsburgh. Whenever that happens. He's supposed to release details about that on Monday, so I'm hoping to go to that
live Pat show.
Live Pat McAfee show.
That's scary.
I'm hoping to be at that for a multitude of reasons.
Right.
One big one is I hope to win money.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade. But yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot to talk about because I feel like he's going to be in Pittsburgh before the draft happens because they're probably going to be somewhere for the draft. And the draft isn't in Pittsburgh until next year. So another thing. But Maddie, you have a list of all the football potential transactions that have happened.
Oh, yeah.
So we're probably going to have to speed this. But
it's been a very busy day or 2 days in the football world. It really started yesterday, but let's just kick it off with the most recent thing. Brian Allen of the Los Angeles Rams has retired after 6 seasons.
Oh, wow.
This is shorter than the other guy that me and Greg were talking about earlier. As Sam Hubbard of the Cincinnati Bengals also retired, I believe, after 7 seasons. So 2 guys retiring young. As long as they are smart with their money, I just hope that they have good, happy lives after the fact.
Wow.
All right, let's go with some big transactions. The Philadelphia Eagles have released Darius Slay and James Bradbury, 2 cornerbacks that helped them win a Super Bowl this last year. That opened up money so that way they could agree to a 3-year, $51 million contract with Zach Bond, who picked off Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Motherfucker.
The Seattle Seahawks have released Tyler Lockett after 10 seasons with the team and are allowing DK Metcalf to go and seek a trade. This means that JSN would be the only wide receiver they've got, really.
Right?
The Vegas Raiders have released Gardner Minshew, and they have signed Max Crosby to a 3-year, $106 million contract in an offseason where Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, and Trey Hendrickson are all looking for new contracts. That might be the craziest thing. Also for the Raiders, they snagged Alex Kappa from the Cincinnati Bengals, one of the best guards in the NFL.
Damn it.
Dare Ogun, I'm hoping to say this right, Ogunbowale
Yeah.
A man that had 2 kickoff returns for the Houston Texans last year for touchdowns has signed a 1-year, $2 million deal to be their backup running back.
Okay.
Kansas City has traded Joe Thuney, a key part of their offensive line, to Chicago for a 2026 4th-round pick. Yes,
Wow.
he's old, but I feel like Chicago might have just fleeced him.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Saquon
an
Barkley.
interesting. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Saquon Barkley signs a 2-year, $41.2 million contract, becoming the first ever $20 million running back in NFL history.
Did he resign?
Yeah, that's a 2-year re-sign with
Okay.
the Eagles.
Okay. I was gonna say, damn, the Eagles let him go. Good, but no, they fucking no. Okay.
Devontae Adams and Jamal Williams released from the Jets and the Saints, respectively, to whereas T. Higgins and Trey Smith of the Bengals and Chiefs got franchise tagged. They're the only 2 people to get franchise tagged.
Interesting.
The Cowboys. This is a big one. The Cowboys re-signed defensive tackle Osa. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that last name.
Okay.
Basically, defensive lineman of the Cowboys, 4 years, $80 million.
Okay.
This is the defensive tackle with the 3rd most pressures in the NFL last season.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
So
that's big.
That's a big deal for Dallas. If he keeps up that production, you guys have a monster at defensive tackle.
Definitely use help on both sides of the ball, but defense is rough.
Now, key free agents: Sam Darnold, Devontae Adams, Myles Garrett, Darius Slay. Josh Sweat still has not signed a contract with the Eagles, so he's expected to become a free agent. He had, 2 or 3 sacks in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Justin Fields / Russell Wilson. Pittsburgh is still expected to sign one of those 2 quarterbacks. We don't know who. Khalil Mack, Aaron Jones at running back. Charvarius Ward, cornerback from the 49ers, is expected to be a free agent. And I guess the big one that nobody really wants to talk about, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I don't know if Grandpa's going to get signed anywhere at this point. He's, unless Minnesota really wants to put a Favre tag on him, then, go for it, I guess. But the rest of that shocks me. There are a lot of people that should not be without contracts right now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was also an announcement made that Mason Crosby of the Packers, their kicker, is retiring.
Damn.
Oh, he's been in the league
17 seasons.
17? I was about to say 16.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that one makes a little more sense than the other 2.
Hey, both of those guys that did retire, though, they were like defensive ends. Sam Hubbard was a defensive end for the Bengals.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of just helmet to helmet, just
it is
ramming each other. So,
and there's so much more we know about that kind of. So it may be related to that. I don't want to speculate. I don't want anybody else to speculate. But they're
as long as they have good, healthy lives, that's all that really matters.
Right. Damn.
Also, I was speaking about McAfee earlier. Pat McAfee is not taking his show to the actual NFL draft this year. And he posted a video on it, so I'm gonna have to check that out in like 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But there's a reason. There's reasoning for it.
I saw a post about it saying citing middle management from the combine itself. So there was people, not actual heads of the company, trying to talk with him, but they were sending like lackeys to go basically tell him what to do.
Yeah. So he posted a video like 6 minutes ago. So I'm gonna check that out and watch it after the fact.
At the risk of turning this show into a political discussion, and if I am, please smack me and knock it off. I feel mentioning it once was fine, but Pat's continual harping on the Canadian crowd for the boos they inflicted on not the singer, but the song she sang, obviously, the anthem. I thought it was too much.
Why? Here's my question. Why are you singing the U.S. national anthem in Canada in the first place?
Okay, so I can let you know they do this for baseball games. They do this for basketball games. They do this for hockey games.
Yep.
And they'll do it for professional wrestling events.
They do it for all major sporting events in North America. They sing both.
But why we don't do it for them, I don't know.
Well, I would have erred on the side of caution, knowing how anti-American the world is turning again, and probably not done that if I was WWE, but then it would have been, oh, well, they're scared or whatever. It's trust me, I'm a hockey person. If a Canadian team comes into the arena, I hear both anthems. I know both anthems. I sing both anthems. But at the same time, I'm not going to go into Canada right now and, jump on a microphone and, sing that anthem out loud right now. We are not a happy people up there right now. It is unfortunate that the sins of those at the head of the table in Washington rain down on all of us. Whether you agree or disagree with what's being done or how it's being done, somebody shouldn't be getting booed for being hired to sing a song at an event.
I feel like it's just a reflection on everybody's got an opinion about politics.
Yes.
Listen, I try not to talk politics on this show or on my Twitter. If you want to hear me talk about politics at all, go check out the new podcast I have with my buddy Chris.
Oh yeah,
it's called The State of Jag's Address. We talked about Elon Musk and Kanye West, and the episode coming Friday, I'm going to tell you right now, we're talking about Andrew Tate. So if you want to hear me talk about some people, that's I typically wait to advertise that, but I was like, you know what, Andrew Tate's such a dick. I'm gonna put that out.
Oh, absolutely.
Right on. Are you guys gonna address at all last night's broadcast?
What did I miss?
The president's address to Congress.
I didn't watch that shit, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch it. You can.
I was just curious. I made no bones about it. I don't like the asshole, but I still watched. I wanted to see what he had to say.
Oh yeah, listen. I have heard nothing about it. I muted Trump's name on Twitter years ago.
You did yourself a solid because
so I don't see any of that shit. And do you know how much my inner peace appreciates that? I don't I went through this shit trying to do the hashtag Greg Cherry for Quizzlemania while seeing a whole bunch of Trump shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. You know why? Because none of it, I don't want to say it doesn't directly affect me, because I'm sure in some grandiose way it does, but
eggs.
I'm not going to let it dictate. I'm not going to let it dictate my everyday life.
Well, no, nor should you. I will say though that, and this is talking far too deep into class, not even out of class. We've had similar conversations at home about the way one family member affects the rest of the household, and you and I have talked about it, Greg, ad nauseum about my household. Taking the approach of having been told, well, it doesn't directly affect you. It's like, okay, you're right, it doesn't right now, but we're 44 days in to 4 years. At some point, enough of us are going to get affected by what's going on. But I applaud that stance only because you are a much nicer and saner person than I will ever be. I've said that about you. I don't know how you are able to maintain such positivity. And I think, I mean, I know why,
Difficult.
and I know it is. And it's trying to navigate being a positive influence while also being an influencer are completely oxymoronic statements. It's hard.
Well, I put out a tweet maybe about an hour or so before the show. And like I highlighted, like I personally am like really struggling with like a whole lot of things.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to not want to broadcast that on social media because some people are complete dicks about it.
Yes.
Some people who should have no opinion, who don't know me, try and turn it into some bullshit that it's not.
Right.
And to those people, you can suck my left nut.
From the back, by the way. Anyway.
Not into that. But
well, but they might be anyway.
But my point is that like I try to be as honest and real with people as I can.
Right.
Granted, I don't expect anything that I do to just blow up overnight. I fully expect that it's going to be a grind every single day, every single time I put out a video, every single time I put out a tweet. I expect nothing out of it. Okay. Honestly, at this point, I'm shouting into the void to pop myself because I realize my stuff isn't going viral. It's just not.
Right.
I get that. As much as I have tried to put into this channel, as much as I've, put out so much fun stuff like Luck of the Draw and Jack of All Trades and, Wrestling Trivia Challenge and all that stuff, the stuff that we have done over the last 5 years, I understand it's not the most wildly viral, popular stuff out on the internet. I think it's fun.
It is fun. It's entertaining.
It's 100% fun. Absolutely. Sorry, the light was getting to me.
And it's one of the things I try and tell people is like, if you want this to become something bigger, one of two things has to happen. Either somebody that isn't one of us shares the video, promotes it, and tells people, hey, you need to check this out, or I win the lottery. One of those two things has to happen because I have self-admitted I am not a marketing person. I never have been. I've never been good at it. I feel like I am trying to sell myself. I know what we put out there is entertainment. I know the creative ideas that come through my mind are good. I just cannot somehow convey that to other people without it sounding like I am begging people to watch the stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's a very justified feeling, and you're not alone in that at all.
So, like, imposter syndrome is a real thing, people.
No, it is.
And trust me, I live in that every single day of my life. When I tell you I've been unemployed for fucking 5 months, and I have had one job interview. One. Do you know how much that sucks?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, it's just like I wake up some days, and it's part of my thing, like last month or whatever it was, that like I just feel like I can't do anything right. And I know we've drifted far away from the topic, which is fine. It's this show, of course.
That was my bad for bringing that shit up. I apologize, for real. I do it.
No, but it's just mind-numbing that like I see a whole bunch of people who I don't want to say don't deserve their spots, but like I know I don't treat people terribly, or I try not to treat people terribly. I try and treat everybody with respect.
Right.
And damn it, do you know how frustrating it is to not get any of it back? Like there are very few people outside this circle who I believe would truly have my back. I don't know. Maybe I'm just ranting. But again, if I'm always shouting to like 30 or 40 people.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
The thing that I've had to learn, and we're getting down to the end of the show here because we want to make sure everybody gets to watch the go home for Revolution.
Yeah.
Lord knows somebody should, because I haven't been. God damn, poor AEW. I feel like, and I had to learn this unfortunately the hard way when I got my little timeout last year and had to refocus my energies elsewhere besides making money here or making money doing any kind of this at all. Is you have to want it for you, and if you're not doing it ultimately just for you first and foremost, then it's going to feel unfulfilling. It's going to feel like you're shining into the void. But just know, and I'm saying this in front of everybody, whoever who's watching now, is watching on demand, or whatever, who catches the tweets later or catches the post later on any social front. We may have shouted his name, and we believe in Joe Hendry on this channel. I, for one, have and always will believe in Greg Cherry.
Absolutely.
And that's not going to change, regardless of where we stand on any view or point or whatever. If I were to stop believing in Greg Cherry, then I'd stop believing in the positivity and in a decent human being. And I don't think any of us are willing to admit we do that out loud. I believe in you, Muckerfather. And if anybody outright comes out against me for saying that, then they can feel free to suck it from the back as well.
And like, I wasn't trying to like turn it into a.
I know that. I know you weren't.
Like,
which is why I said
that. Because let's face it, like, we've all made mistakes in life. I've done some dumb shit. Let's be honest.
I am a dumb shit.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has faults. So it's one of those things where it's like, I try to be a better person than I was the day before, the year before, 5 years ago, whatever the case may be.
Definitely.
And that moment when I had, like, when I finally got onto WrestleMania, I thought was going to be a game changer. That moment when we had Maven on the show multiple times, I thought was going to be a game changer. Granted, I'm not discounting either one of those because those were both fantastic. I hold those moments dearly. But maybe I'm being selfish for wanting more out of that than what I got. You know?
I wouldn't call it selfish. We all want what we want for ourselves. As much as you have done for so many others, Greg, as much as you have honestly multiplied and amplified the positivity of my online existence, it's not about deserving, dude. And I karma can be a thing, and the paying it forward can be a thing. I believe that good things are coming. If I didn't believe good things were coming for me, I wouldn't have reapplied to where I work again. If I didn't believe good things were coming, my son would be in such a far worse. I just also had to believe that the virtue of patience was a thing. And you know better than anybody how impatient an asshole I have been in my life.
Yeah.
And in the last year, I had to change that, or I wouldn't be sitting here. I probably wouldn't be sitting here, period, if I had to go through the last year of my life and just keep moving forward.
And on that note, a very, very sobering note, but probably a very much needed one. Everybody go enjoy the Go Home to Revolution Dynamite. Share our stuff, please.
Yes. Get it out there, folks.
This is right now, this editing the podcast, uploading videos, this is all I am doing right now. It's just, I don't have anything else on the horizon right now. So if you guys enjoy this show, if you guys enjoy us, if you guys want to see me anywhere else trying to do this stuff and growing this place, you got to let people know that we're here. Shares are free. Like we have the donate thing at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. Obviously not a requirement anytime we do this show. Like that, we've gone weeks, months, almost a year without anybody donating anything. It is what it is. What I'm saying is we want people here to enjoy the show. We want people subscribe to the channel. I can't put out the Royal Rumble series every single day until like for the rest of my life because I've uploaded everyone except these years. But let people know we're here. Share my stuff. Retweet me on Twitter. I'd say find me on Blue Sky, but I've all but stopped using that. Like it's almost as bad as Twitter as far as
I don't think anybody uses Blue Sky anymore either.
If you believe, say Greg's name. Let him appear elsewhere. Damn it.
Yeah, just get the shares out.
I will be Internet Joe Hendry. I don't care.
That's right.
Greg will show up anywhere, anytime.
Right. As long as there is a viable camera screen and a viable device in front of him, say his name and he appears. Because, God damn it, if nobody else, me and Maddie, we believe in Joe Hendry. And we believe in Greg Cherry, too.
Yes. So on that note, you probably missed the intro to Dynamite, but go check out Dynamite. Go check out our stuff. Go check out Jeff with all the stuff he's doing. Go check out Maddie on the Raw Ball podcast. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week. Enjoy whatever you're enjoying. Don't be a jag, and we'll see you next week on the Greg Cherry Show. Have a good night.
We'll all be here next week.